Yeah. I'll just go over it quickly. Okay. DW joins dev. Helps out quite a lot for the start of 3.0 and shit. Like, you know, rewrites the UI and shit essentially. Even though it lagged like dog shit, that ended up being a problem of the encryption tools or some shit like that. And I was like, yeah, you know, this dude's fucking helping a lot. We're like, you know, my Twitch alone is making enough to do whatever the fuck I want, really, already at that point. And like I said, I own my house and shit, so money wasn't an issue, really. And I was like, yo, because he wanted to quit his job. He was thinking about streaming and shit like that, streaming more, whatever. I was like, yeah, I can give you 10 grand a month just so you're good. You won't have to worry about work, and I can guarantee it for a year minimum. And then I said, like, you know, if we have extra work, I'll give you extra money. You know, whatever. If we have to push and crunch or whatever the fuck it is. That was good. Went for a year. I mean, there was a few. Disagreements here or there. That's normal, to be honest. You know, no one's ever going to be agreeing on everything. And you guys will know a lot of the random shit, I guess. But anyway, the point is, after that, he was pretty much going to he had to move out of the United States of America unless he got a visa or some shit. And the company that he signed to, he had to give them an X amount from his Twitch, which essentially was soaking up, quote unquote, all his money, even though I was paying him 10 grand a month. And I was like, yo, you know, like, we're cool. I'm making bank. He's pretty chill. Seems like he's here for the long run. You know, we'll make some shit. We'll keep doing what we're doing. Maybe even make a game, like we talked about that. He was just worried about money again. I said, yo, listen, you know, we can start going as a percentage in things. And so I told him, rewrite the translations, finish the translation shit. Finish the translation shit so we can get other servers going, because the other devs fucking started it but didn't finish it. And I said, I'll give you a cut of that or whatever. They made a little bit, not really that much, but it was enough that it was like, you know, it was paying for itself, and, you know, there was a bit of extra cash. Then he brought up the idea of the prio on the main server, and I was like, yeah, I thought about something for this, but I didn't know how to execute, essentially. And we sort of rushed the first iteration of that, and people were like, yeah, that's fucking dumb, so we rewrote it a little bit and made it work better, and the deal was like 50-50, but the one condition was, I ask you to do and complete a task every month, and, you know, you'll get the money. I was sloppy with it. Like I said, it wasn't really... It is technically a business transaction, but the personal side of things was I wanted him to, you know, be comfortable and not necessarily... And I've said this to the other devs too. It's the same I'm going to be doing with the shaders with Toby and shit. It's like, you just get a cut of it at this point. Because you got to remember, a lot of these devs weren't around before this. Like, they came around later. Before everything was sort of like made, but for next iterations and shit, I was like, you know, let's go percentages and things rather than whatever, and that's what we did with him. So he was making bank for like 40 or 50 grand a month for like five or 6 months at least, maybe longer. I don't even know, but either way, the first one was, yo, finish the heists. The second one was do the admin panel and shit, sort out all the management side of things. Third one was another set of heists. Fourth was Red Dead. Actually, no, the second was Red Dead, I think. That was 6 months ago. I actually asked him to do Red Dead. And here we are 6 months later. It's not finished. The heists weren't finished, even though Sky was the one doing this, by the way. DW, like... sort of said, yo, we'll do it at the casino, and then Sky would just code everything. Sky pretty much did majority of the heist, by the way. And I just thought it was DW. I wasn't paying that much attention. Like I said, it was a personal thing on a friend-to-friend thing, rather than I am this guy's boss and I want to make 100% sure he's doing all this work. You know, I was just throwing money at him. at this point. It wasn't so much. I mean, the contractor agreement was there, but like, I just believed this guy, right? That he was just doing it. He wasn't palming it off, but he was palming it off. And I found out, and I paid Sky extra money. He should have got a whole lot more, but he didn't. But you know, I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck, because I don't think most of the devs are here for the money. It's just the bonus of what it's turned into. And yeah, like, he didn't finish barely any of the shit, and then was like, yo, I don't like... So I didn't talk to him for like fucking a few weeks over Christmas and whatever, because I was giving him space because he literally fucking snapped over the controller shit, and that was like the, you know, ultimatum time. We got to resolve this, essentially, was what it was, and he did a list of things, and I know a lot of you guys are saying it's CG related. CG were a part of the issue that he had, and, you know, I think everybody has... Even I've said there's issues with CG. They're not... They get salty over the dumbest shit, and there's a reason why we're changing rule sets how we are, but they're not the only people that cause this. You know, I think Penta's also an issue with, like, antagonizing people and, you know, pushing people when he knows, you know, it's got to cause issues as well. But the thing with CG is I think they're pulled together with, like... 2 or 3 bad apples make a lot of them look worse because they're a group. But either way, slowly they got to get priored out because of the system, right? But there was other things. There was the way police were handled. He didn't like certain people in certain positions. And he was, you know, I guess frustrated. I don't know why, but this happened a long time ago. I got a screenshot. Essentially, he said there's 2 people that roleplay in the high command. Who was it? Like Toretti and... I mean, I agree with the Toretti shit. One second, let me find something. I don't want to leak my dick pics real quick. Find it real quick. But it wasn't something that's new, by the way. This is something like fucking... that's festered for a while, and... you know, there's also the talks that he was dating somebody within the police department. And this is sort of maybe the same time frame where shit started happening. So let me just find this real quick. So listen. I can show this. Huh? Well, it's got to give a foundation to what it is. Essentially, he said that S-Fant and Toretti were the only ones that roleplayed. Let me just... And to be fair, he's right. But essentially, he wrote off Penta, Koil, you know, whoever else was there. Primal, Tim Mac, 5-0, Alex, John, Kylie, everybody. He literally just said, no, these 2 are the only ones that are up here at this point. So, I don't know if there was like some... I don't know what his gripe was there, but it came out of nowhere, and you know, I think it was like sort of the start of his dislike for a lot of things. But I mean, it looks like he changed his mind because he's you know, apparently likes Kyle these days. So, but there was the ultimatum of like him not liking police, right? The roleplay wasn't right for police. I don't need to show this screenshot, do I? I mean, I'll show it just so you know it's not bullshit. It doesn't exactly fucking say. There's more screenshots to it, but let me, he just circled people. How the fuck do I do this again? Image history, screenshots folder, image history, there we go. I'm not gonna show other shit, but like, there's a lot of shit, okay, but here we go. This is essentially the list, just so you guys have a gist of the beginning of it, okay? That's the list. He circled 2 people that roleplayed in the entire PD, okay? You can do what you want with that. That was quite a while ago, and that's where I noticed things started to change with his outlook on PD as a whole, and shit like that. So I sort of just went with it. I was like, whatever, dude. You know, I understand there's got to be differences, and this wasn't like a month ago or anything. This was a long time ago. So those grievances that happened a long time ago. Okay. But yeah, anyway, the point was it started a lot earlier than, you know, something recent, and there was bad blood between him and a lot of people in the community. And for me, I try to tie things together. I've always been like that. I try to do what is best for everybody, right? What I think is best for everybody. I'm by far perfect, and I'm a fucking asshole, but the logic I see it as is whatever sticks the most together and keeps the biggest streamers around is the goal. And I'm open about that, and I think the reality is every streamer thinks that, but they'll have their own agenda to try and sway certain groups of people. But the reality is, let's be honest, Penta wouldn't be here if there wasn't numbers popping. Kyle wouldn't be here. I probably wouldn't be here if there wasn't numbers popping anymore. GW wouldn't have been here. You know, nobody's got to be here if the numbers aren't here, right? That's the reality. That's the core of how it is. So, yeah, I mean, there were grabs. There was a lot of things. It's not just that. There was police. You know, just the general server. You know, like you said, Chang Gang, obviously. But there was other groups as well that were also mentioned. But you know, I'll mention CG because it's obvious. But the thing is, I agree with most of the opinions of people. Even with what Reddit says, there's a lot of truth to what is said. But what do you do in a situation like this when you help somebody personally, right? Give them like 400 grand or some shit like that. 500. I don't fucking know how much it was. It was enough money that this guy's like fucking juice and magoose it. I helped him get his visa. I signed for some shit to get him his visa. As soon as he gets it, he just flicks the fingers, right? He doesn't really talk after the controller change. And I'm like, okay, I'll give him breathing space because it's not the first time he's flipped out over some shit. I just thought this one was a little fucking absurd. And I just let it be. I talked to him. He gave an ultimatum, essentially. We need to resolve this. And listed all those things. You know, things like fucking gun changes not being good. You know, not liking how the gun meta is turning out. But from what I see, like, the feedback with pistols and shit has been a lot better. So, you know, how policing was. There's a few names I don't want to bring up, but, you know, I have my grasp with police, and I like a certain police standard. He's different, apparently, but that changes every fucking 3 months for whatever reason. And he's pretty much said, you know, I'm either going to leave or you're going to do all this right now or you know, that's just it. So I could understand... You know, we work on things slowly and try to fix things, and that's my logic. I just don't think it's logical to be like, hey, let's do all this right now, and that's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't I don't understand what you do in this situation. And like I said, the reason I brought up the personal shit is because I feel like I was helping this guy as a friend greatly. And his response is, after all this shit that I've done for him, here's an ultimatum. All the money you did for me was worthless. Helping me get the visa was worthless. You know, helping me get into streaming and, you know, paying me for fucking no reason was worthless. Do this or eat a dick because you didn't like a few changes. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys would do in a situation like that. No matter how much of an asshole you think I am, I don't know any logical person that would be like, yeah, listen, I'll give you a fucking hand job for fucking me in the ass, okay? Why not, dude? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what anybody would do. I don't know what anyone would do. Can you replace CW for me? Well, the crazy thing is, you don't need to replace him because apparently it was fucking Sky doing all the work anyway. And it's easy for you guys to say, oh, you know, you're not much of a fucking project manager if you weren't looking into that shit. Like I said, it was a friend-to-friend thing because I wanted to help him, okay? It wasn't... This extra cash was, you know, obviously agreed and contractual in a way. But, dude, you don't expect someone to just fucking randomly fucking chuck a hissy fit, have an ultimatum, and then just fucking do this crazy shit, you know what I mean? Not someone that claims they're your friend. This guy would say he loves me and shit. Like, dude, it is fucking bogus to think how it all went down. It really is. Fuck, it looks good out here, though, chat. A lot of people didn't agree with what was said at the trooper meeting. What was said at the trooper meeting, though? Like, I don't understand what grievances, dude. There was no mention of like any of this with him. I mean, some of the trooper stuff he didn't like. Sure, but I think that's because of CPD, and apparently that was meant to be the police department. I don't understand. It just fucking randomly changed. So. So now that he's gone, does that mean we're finally getting rid of Penta? Listen, dude, I'm not. You're misunderstanding everything I say here. You have to understand. I don't take a side at all. There's a reason why the rules come in, and this isn't something I've just done because of DW. By the way, we've been talking about hardcore and priority wipes for fucking like three or 4 months because of needing a fresh up. There's a reason we implement changes, and the prio thing is a fucking great idea, but it's an equal idea because I know everybody says, oh, we got to treat people differently, but the reality is if somebody fucks up, they get banned for it. Now there's an automated prio drop, no matter who you are, and they get fucked. So eventually, Penta, if he keeps it up, will be banned. Rami, if he keeps it up, will be banned because they won't have prio. They literally won't be able to join the server. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. I mean, it is. It's a fuck around and find out, but it's that simple. I mean, I don't know what you guys think I do for CG, but, I'll always say the devil's advocate of things, but I've never gone into these fucking admin channels and say, you're not banning this guy, you pieces of shit, okay? If there's a majority vote, it goes through. It's that simple, okay? It is literally that simple. It's always going to happen. I've probably banned, I've banned like 3 people that I thought was good. Zolo being one for the music, because he makes so much fucking music for NoPixel and kept doing that shit. Ming, we raised 100K for charity. What the fuck ever, dude. I don't know who else I've done it to. That's I don't know. Maybe that's it. There's probably somebody else, but I do that shit. Because I feel like there's a value to doing it. It's not like I've done all this crazy shit where I unban CG and all this weird shit that you guys go on about, but I don't know why the weather's fucking up, but it's fucking up. So let's change it. I unbanned Buddha, but that was a group decision. It wasn't a me decision. I mean, I was obviously management, but why wouldn't I? I think there's a difference, a complete difference in like, metaing against people that are pieces of shit like ESB were, and that's why I was so understanding when I fucking started reading Discords and all that sort of shit. Compared to like fucking blatant metaing to just fuck with people and shit, you know what I mean? I didn't protect anybody. I just think I was fair about it. I was logical about it. It's not about protecting. It's about being logical. Dean was like it. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to read people on the internet. And personally, no matter how much we disagree with how the server goes, on a level of somebody that is meant to be a friend, I did a lot for the guy, and I don't know what he's done for me when I think about it. Okay. Like the start of 3.0, don't get me wrong. He did a lot of work to get the UI up and all that sort of shit. And it's not like his RP wasn't helping the server. But personally, for me, I don't know what he's done for me. You know what I mean? I just don't know I don't know what he did for me apart from fuck me in the ass, okay? That's what ended up happening. He fucked me in the ass. There is no friendships in business. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a reality to that. Everybody's here. And I think what you want to do is you want to stick with people that will talk the reality of what the situation really is. And the reality is, we as streamers are here for money. The majority of the people are here for money. And we need to balance that with the role-playing content we create for you guys, right? We need to... You guys like drama, despite what you fucking say. You're a bunch of bitches. You're mainly here for drama. Most Reddits are fucking drama bait fucking headliners, okay? No matter what you fucking little bitches say, you fucking thrive on drama more than anything else. It is not the core roleplay you want to do. If you liked core roleplay, you fucking tossers would be watching Wild RP. Even you guys are fucking kidding yourselves. You're a bunch of fucking idiots, alright? You would literally be on Red Dead right now watching Wild RP if you wanted roleplay. Pure roleplay, okay? The reality is, we love the drama to an extent, but we're mainly here to create content and keep you guys entertained. That's the reality. That's how the whole shit works, all right? It's not some fucking new magical thing. It's just some people are willing to speak the truth about it and owned it, rather than have their one fucking dimensional view that, no, my roleplay is the best, and that's why I'm here. I'm here for the high tier roleplay. You know what I mean? A lot of the big streamers are, you know, fucking delusional, I think, in that circumstance, or want to act, you know, innocent to it. But that's the reality. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to say the fucking personal side of things. And if DW hears that, I hope he knows that he's a cunt for doing it. But at the same time, I don't know what's going on in his fucking personal life. If some fucking weird shit was happening or whatever. It still doesn't fucking make sense to me. But yeah, you know, I don't know, dude. I don't know how to handle that sort of shit. But you move on, I guess. You know, try to keep the boat flowing. That's what it is. What it is. And that's why I say to fucking Sincere, dude, just cope for 3 months, bro. I'll buy you fucking GTR. I don't give a fuck. Do it, dude. YOLO. Can he do anything to come back from it? Come back from what though? Like, you mean being a fucking fucklord to me, or, you know, ditching the community? Like, which part? Oh no, I'll buy him one IRL. I would buy him one IRL. But you'd have to go fucking ham, dude. Koil bought me a house, bro. Don't say that, dude. I'm trying to move houses. All right, I need to move up the coast. Gotta buy myself one. No refund. I mean, I paid the guy out through the Tebex because that was the prior shit. So I didn't even know if there'd be a refund. You gotta understand, dude. At the end of the day, I was doing it to help somebody. And yeah, there was a contract to it. He fucked me in the ass, but I'm not going to go and fucking talk to a lawyer and do the fucking shots tactic, you know what I mean? I was still doing it to help somebody, and I don't think changing that will fix anything at the end of the day. It just won't change anything, right? Shots tactic, explain. Shot said he was going to sue Penta for having his fucking his sound clips on the fucking on his stream. And like I said, this is why Penta, you know, Penta will act all innocent, but this motherfucker is poking bears 24/7, dude. It's fucking funny though. But I mean, yeah, you know, what would you guys do in that situation? Like, is this not the most logical route? Because, like I said, my personal preference for a server is do whatever the fuck you want in it with roleplay. Just don't be an ass. And you know, it's fair to say there's a few fucking asses in the server. But what is the answer? You don't just say, "Listen, I'm gonna ban you, CG. You're all dead. You're all dead to me." You know what I mean? I just banned 20 people because 2 people fuck around a lot. You know what I mean? And it's the same with police. I'm not just going to go fucking ban Penta and whoever he's friends with that go and play on another server when he gets salty. It's just not a logical way to handle things. It just doesn't work like that. But if they end up banning themselves because they, fuck around and find out, then so be it. I just think our major flaw with our systems were there was nothing that was a long-term punishment. After, now with the prio drops, I think it fixes itself because priority is the most important thing in the server. A 3-day ban or a 7-day ban is pointless. It really is. Even 30-day bans are like, but when priority comes into effect, that it's permanent. It's a much better thing. But it's not only for the big groups. You got to understand, like, there is people that join the server, do some dumb shit, and then they're on fucking paid prio, which I'm getting rid of, by the way. Thanks, DW. And they can just fucking rejoin later and they'll get in over other people. But if that gets removed, they get fucked as well. Like, everybody gets fucked by it pretty evenly. Hey, looking for devs? We're always looking for devs. Always.
Hey, buddy. Hi there. It's supposed to be sunny this weekend.
Using bans as vacations. Bans are irrelevant. I think bans are fucking pointless, honestly. Like I said, we're trying to keep everybody in check as even as possible to an extent. XQC can fucking come in here and shit on me if he wants. And I won't ban him. But, if we lay it out and say, look, if you do this... Because it's not like Rami and fucking Penta are dumb, right? Or fucking Randy, whoever gets banned. It's not like they're fucking stupid, okay? Rami will push boundaries, and so will Penta. They'll get banned, and then they'll calm down, okay? But then the points fall off, and they're like, well, what the fuck ever? Let's meme a bit more. You know what I mean? But when it's a priority that's a permanent thing, I think it's going to resonate better for everybody. You really need to think about what you're doing. No, Randy hasn't been banned in a while. I'm just saying, like... I'm talking about, like, prior, like a long time ago. There was dramas and shit. I'm sure Randy said some dumb shit lately. I say some dumb shit, but, the point is it's not who it is, it's how it works. I'm just giving you those examples because they're the two main people from either Reddit retards or YouTube retards, so... Oh, hey, Travi. Love you, baby.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean, like, listen, dude, like, I think I'm pretty logical about the entire situation. You know what I mean? Like, I know Penta's an issue to a lot of people. I know some people in CG are an issue to a lot of people. But, like, the answer isn't just fucking mass ban or just fucking shit on everything. It's literally what killed TFRP. It killed SOE. It's killed fucking, what was that Armor server? A3L. It killed CG, okay? That's what kills your server. That's literally what kills your server. Because everybody here is here for the view. Well, 90% of people are here for the viewers, so. But when I lay it out like this, it's totally on you how it happens. You're gonna have if you get banned from doing this, it is what it is. But I think Rami is one of the capable of to be one of the better role players here. Clearly is, and I think Penta is too. I legitimately think they're both really good fucking role players, and hopefully this alleviates the stresses that they bring, and they're like, well, maybe I shouldn't do that shit, and we'll see what happens. I mean, you guys will say Cap that he isn't, but fucking some of the Clarkson shit he's been doing is fucking hilarious, bro. Even Rami shit when I'm not shooting him in the head is fucking funny. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. Yeah, it's not realistic roleplay necessarily, but we're allowed to have comedy roleplay on our server, guys. You don't need to be fucking pussies, all right? Don't go watch a fucking South Park episode and cry that it isn't realistic. You're just a retard, all right? Penny can do the serious badass shit. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. As long as you're not trying to push boundaries and shit like that. Whatever, dude. Is comedy RP allowed in hardcore? Yeah, so hardcore isn't realistic RP, guys. You've got to understand the idea behind hardcore is immersion to an extent, but mainly penalty. There's a lot more severe penalty to what happens. It might not necessarily be like 70-year jail sentences, but like, you know, you could get a fucking insane... Oh, actually, we did mention this. If you get fined like 10 grand, you go to jail, you have to work off that money to get out. So you might get a 10-month sentence, but if you're in debt, it might turn into a fucking 60-month sentence or whatever. You cannot leave until you work it off, essentially. So there will be long sentences, but it's not like you do one thing, you go to jail for 6 months. It's not that crazy. But the economy is also going to be like 25% of what it is. Without the banks and shit, without the crazy drugs, so without the crazy whitelist jobs, you got to understand it is really going to fuck people up. The money will mean something, but I don't want to lose like you guys being able to rob banks and have fun with it. I just don't, you know. I just want you to think more. That's all. And usually on a wipe that happens, and I think with these put in, you just got to think a little more. That's all. You know, instead of necessarily making the whole, if you will have to think about a bank job, right? Right now, you don't really need to think about it. Let's go get a bike and fucking jump over a thing. You will have to make sure that bike is there. Rat escapes aren't bad, though. Rat escapes aren't bad. You've got to understand, like, you're going to have to dress up in a costume. We can have more evidence identifiers and shit like that. If they raid you and your bags are there, you're fucked, right? You got to get the fucking no matter what. So you need to. I can't just go rob it without a mask on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fuck myself by doing that. And those little things make everything matter, I think. If you have to mask your voice, you have to wear a mask. You know, you have to just do the core things or get fucked. It'll be fine. But the reality is, you're going to be able to escape the cops just as easy. It's just a much harder, it's just a much harsher thing when you get caught, and that removes the laziness, in my opinion. Same with drugs, selling drugs and shit like that. You don't want to go on the corner and just sell drugs in the open for fucking 3 hours straight, because if you get caught, you get fucked. You get raided, you're fucked. Voice IDing is a thing, though, chat. You got to understand, you can voice ID somebody. You can't just use it as probable cause or a PC check. Just because somebody sounds like somebody, it doesn't mean legally that you can ID them. You guys totally misunderstand how voice IDing works. You can use it as a part of your case, but it isn't pure PC just on a voice. Okay, you need more than that. You need a tattoo or something else that hands it away. And you can use it. You can use voice IDing. It just isn't enough. It's a part of RS. Yeah, it's a part of RS. So you know, maybe you get a vehicle make. Then you go talk to them, and they don't have an excuse of where they were for the last 20 minutes. That's where the RS can build up, and the voice ID can help create the inconsistencies and PC. That's what you need to understand. Like, yeah, voice ID isn't enough to put someone in jail, but it is enough to create... Yeah, this weather actually looks pretty fucking cool, to be honest. What about cars? We've got a lot of cool systems for cars. You're not going to be able to get... well, I mean, you're going to be able to get any car, right? But they're going to have miles on them like they do now, but they need full engine rebuilds and shit. If you just drive them around all the fucking time and do crazy shit with them. So, basically, once you hit X amount of miles, you need an engine rebuild. So, it sort of encourages you to get a burner car and shit like that when you're doing crime and racing and shit like that, so. Am I still a ghost? A lot of this is in talk of how it works, but majority of the systems are there. We just got to like modify how they work. What about races? Yeah, you boost cars. Boosting is going to be a lot more prevalent in terms of like, you know, the race cars. Sort of what S++ will be. You boost them. They're pretty cheap, but you can only have one. And they're probably like unique in a way somehow, but